Hello everyone, welcome to NEDME. My name is Vasu. In this video, we will discuss second chapter of class 6th History NCERT on the trail of the earliest people. We know about people who lived in the subcontinent as early as 2 million years ago. Today we describe them as hunter-gatherers. It is because they hunted wild animals, caught fish and birds, gathered fruits, roots, seeds and leaves for their food. Gathering food was extremely important means of obtaining food as there were immense variety of plants in a tropical land like ours. Hunting also needed them to be quick and alert. To collect plants, you need to find out which plants or their parts are edible and which are poisonous, and also in which seasons the fruits ripen. Also, hunter-gatherers move from place to place because if they stayed at one place for a long time, they would have eaten up all the available resources and they would have to go elsewhere for search of food. They also followed the movement of animals and moved in search of prey. People who lived near seasonal rivers or lakes also had to go in search of water during dry seasons. People also may have moved from season to season in search of different kinds of plants. Besides, people may have traveled to meet their friends and relatives. We have to remember that people traveled on foot at that time. So, how do we know about these people? Archaeologists have found some of the things hunter-gatherers made and used. People may have used tools made of stone, wood and bone, of which stone tools have survived the best. These are examples of the earliest stone tools. These are the ones made 1000 years later, and these are the ones made about 10,000 years ago. Some of these tools were used to cut meat and bone, scrape bark, chop fruit and roots. Some may have been used to make spears and arrows for hunting. Other tools were used to chop wood to be used as firewood, make huts and tools. Stone tools may also have been used for digging ground to collect edible root and stitching cloths made out of animal skin as shown here. Looking at the map, these are the sites where archaeologists have found evidence of hunter-gatherers. Hunter-gatherers lived in many more other places as well. Many sites were located near sources of water such as rivers and lakes. As stone tools were important, people tried to find places where good quality stones were made easily available. Places where stone was found and where people made tools are known as factory sites. We know about these factories as we find blocks of stone tools that were made and perhaps discarded, and chips of waste stone left behind at these sites. Sites where people lived for longer spells of time are called habitation cum factory sites. You may ask, what are sites? Sites are the places where the remains of things like tools, pots and buildings were found. They may be found on surface or buried under the earth or water. Now let's look at one of the sites, Bhimbetka, close to the Narmada Valley in present-day state Madhya Pradesh. Here some sites known as habitation sites are places where people lived. These include caves and rock shelters. People chose these natural caves because they provided shelter from the rain, heat and wild. Natural caves and rock shelters are found in the Vindhyas and the Deccan Plateaus. Another site is Cornul, situated in present-day Andhra Pradesh. Traces of ash have been found here which suggests that people were familiar with the use of fire here. Fire could have been used for many things like as a source of light, to roast meat and to scare away animals. Around 12,000 years ago, there were major changes in the climate of the world. With a shift to relatively warmer conditions, this led to the development of grasslands in many areas, which in turn led to an increase in the number of animals that survived on grass like deer, antelope, goat, sheep and cattle. Those who hunted them now followed these animals, learning about their food habits and their breeding seasons. It is likely this helped people to start thinking about herding and rearing these animals themselves. This was also a time when several grain-bearing grasses like wheat, barley and rice grew naturally in different parts of the subcontinent. People collected these grains as food and learned where they grew and when they ripened. And this may have led them to think about growing plants on their own. Archaeologists call the time we are studying as Paleolithic period. It comes from two Greek words, paleo, which means old, and lithic, which means stone. The name points to the importance of find of stone tools. Paleolithic period extends from 2 million years ago to about 12,000 years ago, that is 10,000 BC. This long span of time covers around 99% of the human history and is divided into lower, middle and upper Paleolithic age. Next is the Mesolithic period, when environmental changes begin from about 12,000 years ago till about 10,000 years ago. Stone tools of this period are generally tiny and are called microlith. At the same time, older varieties of tools continued to be in use. Next stage from about 10,000 years ago is known as Neolithic period. We will learn more about it in chapter 3. It is interesting to note that very often we use present day names of the places where people lived in the past. It is because we do not know what they were called then. Now let's see what are rock paintings and what they tell us. Many of the caves in which these early people lived have paintings on the wall which shows wild animals drawn with great accuracy and skill. Some of the best examples are from Madhya Pradesh and southern Uttar Pradesh. You will be amazed to know that ostriches were found in India during Paleolithic period. Large quantities of ostrich eggshells are found in Patna, Maharashtra. Designs were engraved on some pieces while beads were also made out of them. Patna is situated near Karnataka border in Maharashtra. Many early Paleolithic sites are found in Huntersgatherers, situated in present-day Karnataka. Here at some sites a large number of tools are found used for all sort of activities. These were probably habitation cum factory sites. Most of the tools here were made from locally available limestone. Now let's look what was happening elsewhere in the world during this period. This is a painting from Lescoq's cave in France. The site was discovered 100 years ago. Paintings like this were made between 20,000 to 10,000 years ago. Many of the paintings here are of wild animals painted in bright colors made from minerals like ochre or iron ore and charcoal. It is possible that these paintings were done on ceremonial occasions or made for special rituals. That's all from this chapter. Now let's revise what we have learned so far. We studied about hunter-gatherers, how they got their food and why they moved from place to place. Also, how do we know about them and the places where they lived? What are factory sites? Some sites like Bhimbetka and Cornul in present-day Madhya Pradesh and Andhra Pradesh. We saw the naming of time periods by archaeologists about Paleolithic, Mesolithic and Neolithic periods. What do rock paintings tells us about ostrich eggshells found in Patna, Maharashtra. And finally we discussed about Paleolithic site Hunsi in Karnataka. Thank you for watching everyone. If you enjoyed watching the video, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. And in the next video, we will discuss third chapter from gathering to growing food. Check the link of the video in description and I will see you in the next video.